was there anything about SEO, the full spectrum or Google AdWords, that you wanted to touch on or feel like is important that people need to know about?
I think the number one thing to think about with regard to whether it's an AdWords strategy, whether it's an SEO strategy, whether it's a content strategy on your website, whether it's an optimization strategy on your Google business page, keyword research would be the number one thing that I would say. If you are perfectly optimized for the wrong words, you are not going to get good performance. What you need to do is spend some time to understand the words that you need to be optimized for. Those are going to be the words you use in your Google AdWords account as keywords or key phrases. Those are going to be the things that you use in SEO as keywords, key phrases. Those are going to be the words you try to optimize with your images on Google Business and the way that you create posts on Google Business. If you don't understand what relevant people might be searching for on Google, you're throwing darts in the dark. You have no idea if you can be perfectly optimized for all the wrong keywords. So what I would say, make sure before you do anything, make sure you're aimed at the right target. Everything we talked about is throwing darts at the target. But if you don't even know what target you're aimed at, or if you're aimed at the wrong target, you can be perfectly executing a strategy that's not going to work because you're aimed at the wrong target. So I would say, and we could get in the weeds on a lot of these subjects, but I would say make sure your keywords are appropriate, or everything else doesn't matter. I mean, if that's not right, doing everything else properly doesn't matter. If that makes sense. I mean, if that piece is wrong, everything else is going to be wrong as a result.
No, I think if you're selling shoes, you obviously don't want to be out there kind of promoting pop or food. Like, it's understanding what you're in. One of the things
many times it's much more subtle than that. Like I said, you go in to a website, and again, everything's optimized to use window tinting because we work with a lot of window tinters. Everything's optimized for residential window film. Well, if nobody ever searches for residential window film, you're going to be like, man, I did everything you guys told me to do. I filled out meta descriptions. I filled out alt tags. I did all this other stuff. Why is my website not getting the traffic? Well, because people are searching for home window tint, not residential window film. Yep. So again, it can be subtle. It doesn't have to be pop or shoes. Not to say that I understand where you were going with that, but you really have to understand what the highly searched terms are, and then optimize from there. You don't set your website up the way you think it should be and then try to optimize it. You find out what people are searching for and optimize your website to that. Yeah. You can't get those two things flipped.
And I wanted to share a website here as far as trying to figure out what those terms are. And so this is Answer the Public. I mentioned this before. So just answerthepublic.com. And I just put in window tint, and it kind of gave me the spectrum of, it kind of has these things are, can, how around the outside. And like one of these, can window film be repaired? And it's like kind of asking the questions that are populated or are popular within this specific search term. So whether it's are looking for content to create, whether this is something for social media or for a blog post, and you kind of want to hit on one of these questions and kind of break it out from there. So there's lots of different ways to kind of utilize just this one website for keyword research when I know there's a lot of other ones that are out there. This is one I've seen that's been popular on social media that at least that you probably only get like 3 chances before you have to go pro. But you can see here it kind of gives the cost per click, depending on which one that you're kind of going with on here. So I think this is a good resource to check out if you are kind of looking for ideas of how do I answer questions, or how do I kind of solidify what my keyword research is. Because if if it's manages to be a couple of these that you want to hit, like why is window tint illegal or whatever it might be, this is a good place to kind of
great place to find, like if you're going to have a frequently asked question area on your website, great place to pull questions from and answer those questions. Now you've got content on your website that's directly tied to questions people are asking on Google. So again, there's a lot of tools out there to do keyword research, but if you just are doing it based on your own knowledge or what you think is right, you're taking a chance. And reality is you might be perfectly executing a plan that's aimed at the wrong target. So to me, get that piece right, and you're going to find that everything you do, AdWords, SEO, everything like that's going to actually perform better if you're aimed at the right target.